Oh, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to What's Room the Podcast. It's your boy, Dr. J.
Mr. Wash.
Ashley Ray.
This is our, I would say weekly, but somewhat occasional conversation over mental health, social issues, and all the other factors plaguing society. This is What's Room the Podcast. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Chilling, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah. 2020 almost over. Y'all scared?
Scared? No.
Excited, shit. Get this shit over with.
I mean, yeah, we got the vaccine coming. You know what I'm saying? It's good things on the horizon.
Okay. Sounds very positive. That's true.
So very positive. Like, yeah, this shit ain't right.
I mean, how do y'all feel? Y'all don't feel like positivity going into the new year?
I actually do. I'm not like, 2021 is going to be the same. I think it's going to be a little different. We've got a new president coming in, so let's see how things work out.
I think you got to go into the new year. Like, I think everybody went into this year, 2020, baby, it's going to be my year, 2020 vision, all this bullshit and stuff like that. I think going into 21, everybody's like, hey, I'm just going to make of 21 what I make of it. Like, it's like, there's no big expectations, whatever. I think the biggest expectation going into the new year is everybody hoping for some type of normalcy so people can start traveling and seeing people again. Like going to gatherings and stuff like that, even more than what some people are going to gatherings right now.
Okay.
So I think people are looking for it and positive about that. You know what I'm saying? About, this is going to be my year type stuff. I just think people just happy to see a year because a lot of people not finna see it another year.
I think that one thing I learned from this year, and I know we didn't say this was going to be a topic, but since we're discussing things going into the new year, what I've learned is to not expect anything in a year. So like Walsh just said, people going into it, 2020 vision, 2020 going to be the year. Look at how the numbers line up. This shit going to be live. And so then like everything fell apart by the third month and we couldn't do nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Everything went haywire 3 months in. And so I think that's what taught me to like, okay, every year you just need to go in and think, okay, what can I get done? Let me be a better person tomorrow than I was today. Stop thinking that, this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna do this, and this year. Okay, you can plan stuff, but don't be disappointed when it doesn't happen, because you never know what's gonna happen.
That's true.
Yeah. I say don't like I said, don't put too much stock in the stuff. Because like that's the funny part about 2020 was as much as death and fucked up shit that happened this year, there was a lot of positive shit that happened for different people. Like this year actually like was really balanced as far as like shit like going right for me in certain aspects of life, whatever, and going wrong in certain other aspects. It was just the I'll probably say the only difference is the intensity of both sides. Like the joys I had this year, the positives I had this year happen was like, yeah, that's what's up. I'm happy about it. And then the bad stuff, whatever, was like really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a normal year. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get this. Okay, that's bad, whatever. Or, this happened for me. That was good. So I'm a little bit excited, but like, you're thankful for it. This was like, you was like 0 to 100 on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah, it was like you said, it was a good time for me, just because we had like some time to chill, and I started to realize like how much. For one thing, I realized how much money I was spending on like frivolous shit, like just going out and stuff because we couldn't go out anymore, and so like all of a sudden I got like a whole bunch of money in the bank. And I'm like, why I got so much money in the bank all of a sudden? Like, well, for one, I ain't had to pay no student loans like all year, and then I couldn't go out anywhere, so I saved all my going out money and I realize now how many hundreds of dollars I spend just going out and drinking and stuff, and like I started building my bar in my house because I didn't have to go out and buy drinks. I was like, well, if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink at home. And I started buying like nice bottles of liquor and stuff like that because I had money. Like, and I didn't realize how much money I saved by just not going out all the time. And I didn't really miss going out that much. I mean, I did miss it, but it wasn't like that bad. Like I realize now I can stay at home. Like I don't have to be on the scene all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
No, like I said, that's the big thing. I say you ain't got to be on the scene and stuff. Like some people just miss the actual connection of it. But then, like you're saying, when you actually look at your account and be like, hey, I got a little excess money to do some other stuff, areas or some other things I need to do and stuff. He's like, hey, going out ain't that important. When I can do when I got the money to do other stuff I want to do in life.
True.
That's true, man.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, like we got on here kind of talking like some end of the year type things, whatever. But also, I know people saw the Euphoria episode, little Christmas special episode they did, with basically like we talked about earlier, like it was basically a therapy session for the main character, Rue, and stuff, and her basically her sponsor, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just brought it up, that episode up, whatever, because if you was in the right mindset for like a deep conversation, whatever, then that was a really good episode to you. Yeah, I don't want to hear no doom and gloom and self aware type shit, then yeah, you probably didn't like it.
Right.
I seen both opinions on social media about it and stuff, but it just kind of like talk about this year and stuff. It kind of get you in different mindsets. So I don't want to talk about like, oh, well, like everybody's depressed with especially it's the holiday season, and a lot of people are depressed about their lives and how stuff is going and stuff like that. But just kind of like where our mental states is, kind of like where we how we're holding it together. Shit, where the hell we trying to go? How we trying to better ourselves? That kind of was that episode was. It also showed it brought another aspect to me about us being addicts. When we think about addicts and addiction, whatever, we think about drug users, things of that nature. But we're all addicts in certain ways. And they explain about that. Because like I said, we all know people, even about ourselves, whatever, that can't function throughout the day if they don't have coffee or some type of Coke or caffeine kind of thing, whatever. So their whole thing's messed up. So they're addicted to that feeling, whatever they get. And we all are certain addicts to something, whether it be to coffee or to soda, to a relationship, you know what I'm saying, to somebody, whatever. We're addicts because we feel like we're missing something. And getting those things, just like drug users, whatever, when they get those, they use drugs, whatever, that feeling is filling a portion of themselves that they feel like is missing, like empty, whatever. So if they 75% completely married, you got a good relationship, you got kids and stuff, and everything's fine, whatever, but you still feel like something's missing. I got 75% of what I want, but then you go to use drugs, whatever, and drugs you get 25%. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, you find out like this is why I'm an addict, this is why I'm addicted.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah. And I was gonna say, like you said, everybody's addicted to something pretty much. And I think what the key thing is to figure out what you can be addicted to that, is, I guess, at least somewhat healthy or beneficial. Because you form habits. And the thing about addiction is, like, if it's not something that, like, you get diagnosed with like different types of addiction if you're like going to a therapist, counselor, psychiatrist, whatever. But it's mainly if it's like it affects your day. Like if you can't function, like Wash said, if you can't function without coffee, that's probably a problem. Or when you own whatever your addiction is, you act different and it's detrimental to your relationships in your day, then it's probably a problem. Like they discussed on Euphoria, like it wasn't necessarily the drugs that were the problem, even for like her sponsor when he was explaining his side, like his story or whatever. The drugs weren't necessarily the problem, it's the way he acted when he was on it.
Yeah.
You know, like all of a sudden he became this person that he didn't want to be. And so once you see your addiction doing that to you, because the same thing happened for people that are gambling. People that have gambling addictions, they start doing things off the wall because, they losing money too fast. So they're trying to find different ways to make money. So they start acting outside of themselves to fulfill this habit. So it's not necessarily the chemical imbalance as much as it is what type of person are you for this addiction? What are you willing to do for this addiction? Sex addicts are the same way. Like you're addicted to something and you're willing to act like a different person, or you do act like a different person because of it. And that becomes an issue. Or the biggest issue.
Yeah, sounds like you're looking for some type of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like something to give you that little bit of extra and stuff. And like I say, when it comes to we replace certain addictions, like you're saying, find out how to manage it and stuff like that. Because we always gonna be addicted to something. You just find something to replace it with, and hopefully whatever you're replacing it with is something positive. Like some people be like, "Oh, I like to smoking is my addiction, whatever," and then they be like, "You know what? Instead of smoking, whatever, I take that aggression or that anxiety into painting, something like that."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And like that helps me to stop smoking. But like I say, now you have an addiction towards painting because it's keeping you away from smoking. But that's something positive that you're doing. That's
Right.
to you and stuff. So it's about finding that positive addiction, that positive routine to negate the negative one that you have been having. Like it
And
causes.
I'm saying it's about balance. I think he mentioned that on the show. Actually, he discussed kind of like balance, because even if you're addicted to something healthy, you get too much of something healthy, and it's gonna be a problem too.
Problem. Yeah.
You know, some people are addicted to working out, and working out is great, but like you get to a point, and like you in shape, everything's good. You done lost fat and everything. Like you good, and then at a certain point, like this, it becomes like this real addiction that becomes, like I said, if it affects your day and it makes something change about you, then it's a problem. And so even though working out is healthy, too much of it is a problem. So it's really about finding like a balance. And I think that's important for people, even after dealing with like 2020, because I think people developed a lot of habits and addictions throughout this like quarantine time, because like Watch said, they were trying to fill a hole. We weren't even sure we had these holes in us until we had to sit at the house for months. You know what I'm saying? So like all of a sudden you start to see, okay, wait, I just like I didn't even realize I get depressed like this until now. You know what I'm saying? Like people had never sat still long enough to feel those feelings. And so when they felt those feelings, they started to develop addictions. They started to develop habits that were, you know, detrimental, because all of a sudden they see depression that they've never seen before. Because a lot of times with depression, it takes time for you to sit still and make your mind work. But if you're a person that's constantly moving all the time and you're always doing something, then you never sit still. So you never really realize how you really feel. So now that you had to sit still in March, and some people are still working from home. Like my gal still work from home. They told them they're not going back till like maybe January, and they've been out since March 15th. So it's been, how many months is that? Like 9 months?
Yeah.
9 months of not going into work. Like all you have to do is stay at home for 9 months. That's ridiculous. Like people
I would love it.
you say that until you have to do it.
But see, but that's the whole point though. If like, yeah, a person like myself, like I said, and I can see Ashley too, if you don't mind the isolation of being at home and working like that, right? Then there's nothing to you.
Yeah.
It becomes an issue when you be like, okay, I don't mind sitting at home, but I like going out and doing other stuff, but you do that stuff. So now you're just isolated in that one spot. Then that's when people start losing their mind. They like, hey, okay, I don't mind being at home and doing this work, but my other outlets I used to have, I don't have anymore because I can't do them.
Well, my other outlets are not always being with somebody, to be honest. So this stuff ain't affect me as much as probably affected everybody else. Like I'm straight. I think I put up more Christmas decorations this time because I felt more like, oh yeah, I'm in the holiday spirit. It's crazy because I usually be like, I don't care about Christmas like that, but I did more stuff this year. You see the candy canes back there? Than I did ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it was more to lift people's spirits up too, and try to lift my spirits up. Because it is a lot. It is depressing to see how many people lost their job and how many deaths and stuff is going on, and we still out here acting like nothing wrong. So
I don't even fault people that act like nothing wrong, because like I said, I feel like it's people that don't have any other outlet right now. And I mean, I get it. They put themselves and everybody around them at risk. But at the same time, it's like, okay, or like, let's take me for instance. I don't go out that much. I still go out and I go out to eat and stuff like that now. But like when I go to work, I'm in a school with at least 600-700 people in it.
yeah.
So like me being in close quarters with 700 people, And then me being like, oh, I'm gonna go to a restaurant and eat. Why would you put yourself at risk? Nigga, I've been in a room with other people.
I still gotta go to work. I went to work the whole time with 400 people in his office. We didn't have, everybody went to work still. So when people like, you out, I said, I go to work every day. So I'm always out. I can get exposed at work more than I can get exposed at this restaurant. Yeah, that's true. Because most of my coworkers, I've been tested about 6 times already. So
the best way I can explain is like this. Like everybody,
I think I already had it though.
Yeah, I have too.
Be honest.
I think one of the best ways to explain it is like the gift, whatever, the dog sitting in the house drinking, and there's a fire in the house and shit like that.
Yeah.
What's that? What happened?
You know, the little meme or the little gift, whatever, with the dog sitting at the table and like the house is on fire.
Oh, he's just minding his business.
Yeah, like he's just sitting there, everything's good kind of thing. Sitting in the room. I think that's a lot of people. And like some people like to judge people like, hey, you know what I'm saying? They always out, blah, 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 stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But if you really ask that person that's sitting at the table while everything's burning around them, it's like, I have to act like everything is fine and I'm coping with this shit and still going out. Because if I acknowledge that shit is on fire, I'm going to go fucking nuts.
True.
I'm trying to cope, like everything's fine. You know what I'm saying? No, we out here partying, like nothing's wrong. It's like that because if they acknowledge something is wrong, they might shut the fuck down.
That's true.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, people are just scared. I think people are more scared than anything else because it's a scary thing to deal with this. Like I was talking to my gal the other day, and I was thinking like if you came in a time machine or something, or like let's say you've been in a coma or you've been whatever, to where you didn't know what was going on, and you woke up in like summer 2020, you'd be like, what the hell is this? Everybody got masks on. Nobody's outside. Like, what the hell? Like, it was a nuclear war out here. Y'all went to war and I ain't know. And no, it was a pandemic, and nobody has experienced. Like, I saw pictures. I saw pictures somewhere from the 1918 Spanish flu. Yeah. And so like, you see the people in the streets with masks on, and I was like, that's the last time like Americans were walking around with masks. You know what I'm saying? And so like 100 years later, we have another virus where everybody has to put a mask on and walk around. And the funnier thing is, like, I used to look at pictures of like people in China and how they always wore masks and shit. I was like, oh, why do people in China wear masks? I remember SARS.
You thought they had that shit, huh?
No, I just thought something wrong with it. I was like, something wrong with y'all. Y'all wearing masks every day, dog. Like everywhere you go, you gonna put a mask on? That's wild.
Yeah. Now it made me think like I was dumb. I should have been put a mask on. It's not
I'm telling you.
Masks are going to become like, they're going to go away to a certain extent, but it's going to be a new normal because like,
when your mask man.
Yeah, I read something yesterday. They was talking about it just shows you the viral load or how contagious COVID is. And they was like, right now this is the lowest amount of flu season that we have had on record because people wearing masks. So they was like, with people wearing masks, whatever, people still getting COVID at these like crazy numbers, whatever, it just tells you how contagious COVID is. But as far as getting the flu and other sicknesses and stuff, there's people that have been talking about, like, man, like around this time, I already had me a sinus infection and stuff like that. But you wearing masks and you being inside and stuff a lot, how we kind of
and washing your hands, and sanitizing. Yeah, I think we're doing a lot more of that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It, like Ashley said, I feel like it made me realize, like, wow, this is all stuff. I mean, of course, I always wash my hands, but like, I got hand sanitizer everywhere now. So it's like it works.
Everywhere. Or you got like Lysol wipes, or there's Clorox. I spray everything down now.
And the thing is,
used to not do.
Like it's stuff that we've always done, but you realize the importance of it now. But then, like Ashley said, I feel like wearing a mask is a good decision. Like even if when all this is over, I guarantee you there's gonna be a whole group of people that's still gonna be wearing masks for a while.
I am. I was like, I'm still gonna be wearing masks because I'm known to get sick around this time. The way the weather changing, that's why I'm like, man, I need to chill out because I'm known to get sick around here.
People wear masks.
And y'all was talking about Michael Jackson wearing a mask, but he knew. Told y'all.
That's because Michael Jackson was always traveling like to China and stuff, and that was when
right. And they had that shit. So
They had the same shit we got. That's the same disease. It's the same virus.
Same virus. They the ones brought though.
But
China.
But I'm saying people gonna start wearing masks for like not even just for say for fashion, but just for the part of I can wear a mask and not have you in my face.
Right.
Can't lie. I'm loving you not being so close to me. Anybody. I'm like, hey, give me some space. Or I like to touch it. Like I'm loving it because I like my space.
Because the old mask was you had to act like you was on your phone. So
yeah.
Like that.
But now I act like if you too close to me, I'll be like, oh yeah, mom, I'm here. You know, people so close and stuff. Somebody bumping into we probably 6 feet apart. I be talking loud on the phone because we supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Yeah, but now you wear your mask, people like, okay, they don't fuck with you. They can't see your expression, how you really feeling about some
loving shit. That too. I be in meetings looking crazy as hell, like, bitch, this ain't gonna work. Like making all types of faces.
But it also is. I know we're like completely off of the Euphoria thing, but
no, that's fine. It is thing. We talk about everything.
It also kind of changes everything. Like this year has shown that you don't have to be in the office. Many jobs can be done from home. So if you're not in the office, you don't necessarily have to miss work. It also showed like it's gonna change education because it's gonna be a lot of virtual schools popping up because public education, they're gonna want them kids in school because I'll tell you this, like right now with kids being half and half, like some virtual, some in class, we're having real bad attendance problems. And public school is funded off attendance. So the state's not gonna fund us because kids aren't showing up because they have the option of being virtual. And so the state's gonna cut funding. So what public schools are gonna do when all this is over, they'll be like, no, every kid needs to be inside the classroom all the time. But certain people are gonna be like, nah, I like this virtual shit. So people are gonna pop up with a bunch of virtual schools, get some money off of that, and then that's gonna change government policy because they've been fighting for school choice for a long time. Like the Republicans, that was part of their platform. But I think the Democrats gonna go for it now too, because school choice means we take the money away from the public school and give it to wherever you want to go to school at.
Oh wow.
Now that everything is going, like everybody sees how virtual school works, the government's probably gonna change that and be like, okay, well, we can start giving vouchers. So let's say it costs $10,000. Well, not 10,000. Let's say it costs like about 10,000. Let's say it costs $10,000 to send Jimmy to school in a public school. They can pull that 10 for that year and be like, here, Jimmy's mom, you get this 10,000 and take him to whatever school you want to. You can give it back to public school, or you could take that money and give it to a private virtual school. And it's gonna be a whole bunch of private virtual schools pop up to make that money.
Well, it's unlocked. The pandemic has unlocked the Amazon blueprint for schools.
Yeah.
Like, cause we had a conversation at work last night. We was talking about how like there's somebody going like to UT or A&M. One of my coworkers like, yeah, I was sitting in class and my smallest class had like 120 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. And it was like all my classes were in auditoriums and stuff like that. So we was like, yeah, you didn't get time with the professor and the one-on-ones unless you went to his office or talked to a teacher or like that. And by everything going virtual from like middle school and high school to college is going virtual, now with Zoom and stuff like that, it kind of changes the dynamic because it's like, yeah, I ain't gotta go to school because I'm getting the same kind of attention from you online that I would get in person. I'm just not attending. So it's like if I can get that same type of education online, then why not just stay my ass at home? And like you said, I can go anywhere,
right,
and get the same degree. So yeah, the public funding and stuff like that, they want everybody butts in seats. They need everybody there. So they're gonna fight tooth and nail to try not to have all this virtual learning. But the way shit is going is you can't help it. People try to fight off Amazon for the longest and shit, and they just grew bigger and bigger.
It's the idea that, I mean, we saw this year, not just schools, there's a lot of like institutions that we have in place that we've had in place for 100, 200 years now. They don't work. Our justice system doesn't work. School system doesn't work. Like, we can't keep doing the same thing just because, well, you know, that's how this country was founded in 1776. But it's 2020. Like, it's 200 years later. We're going on almost 400 years since they developed all these ideas. Well, a lot of the ideas. And even over 200 years since they developed, almost 200 years since they developed just the rights of, not having slaves. It's just been like 150 years. So we 150 years in from Black people even not being slaves. We like 50 to 40 years into us even having like equal rights. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of these institutions have to change. And so like I think, like I said, one of the things I learned from just being in this year and how crazy this year was is that things have to change. Things can't be the same. You can't expect, oh, okay, well, this year I did this, so I'm gonna do the same thing next year. No, like every year you need to be ready to do something different. This year can't be planned out like last year was. Your life can't be planned out according to what you remember, because I think, and this is kind of on a different subject, but like I thought about this with when I was talking to like my mom and them about like, with my dad dying, that kind of stuff. And like, as you get older, the people older than you get older and they start replacing generations going forward. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you don't really think about how much you have to change as you get older. Like I'm now in the role of the adult and it don't feel like it, but I am. And you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be 35 years old. So like when I think about my parents when they were 35, what they were doing. And it's like, you have to be ready to make a change. You can't think about how you used to do things because you're not the same person. And that's almost on a daily basis, even more so on a yearly basis. So you can't go into next year thinking that you're going to do anything like you did in 2018 or 2019, damn sure not 2020. So you got to be ready to make a complete change and be comfortable with change. You need to be able to be comfortable with change. And that's what this year kind of taught. You got to be ready for change and be comfortable in it.
Yeah, I think we're more pressed in the situation now that we actually, as being older, you actually see it more. But like you said, that stuff that's been going on for the longest. Like, yeah, I can't be in 2020 being like, yeah, I'm gonna still do the same thing. I'm still going to the same spot. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna have fun, turn up, and then 2020 hit, you go to that spot, and the spot closed.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So he's like, so now you say like, what I'm gonna do now? Whatever. Hell, for perfect example, we used to go the same day as Taco Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying?
It's gone. Yeah. So mad.
Yeah. So I was like, so part like, what do we do now? Where do we go?
And I found another spot.
See? But I'm saying, but you have to adapt. You have to adapt and grow.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm saying like some people be like, same thing's closed, what I'm gonna do? And they be lost. Like, I don't know what to do.
Shit.
And stuff. So you have a lot of people like that just in different walks of life, whatever, that they still kind of the same thing that they did the last year. And once that's taken away from them, they don't know how to respond to it.
And I'll say this, and we could tie this back into Euphoria since we run out of time anyway. But back to the Euphoria thing, because one of the things that she brought up was that she fell back into addiction. She relapsed. And the reason she relapsed was because Jules left. So she didn't, and it goes back to what we were just saying, like, you have to be able to adapt to change and not fall apart. Because that's what happened to her. She's like, well, I was doing this, and that kept me from doing drugs. Like, when I was with her, I was good, so I didn't have to use, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as she left, I'm like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to go back to using drugs. Like Ross said, you got to be able to adapt. Like, because you can't expect everything to be the same all the time. And like I said, that's what we learned from Euphoria. That's what we learned from 2020. Things going to change.
I think it scared me when she said, I can't lie. It's kind of that dark side. She said, well, I take drugs so I'll stay alive. Yeah. I was, damn. Okay. Well.
Because drugs are a good escape. I'm not a good escape, but they are an escape. They're a way for you to get high and not think about the problems you have or how. You don't have to solve any problems as long as you're high. If you're not high, then it means, okay, now I got to deal with this shit. And so she's like, well, I don't want to deal with this shit, so I got to just kill myself. So either I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to get high and forget about it. One of the two. That's all I think. Or I need something else to supplement. And so, but the thing is, like we were saying about 2020, I was saying about her and Jules, you got to be able to say, okay, shit changed. Something drastic happened in my life. Something terrible might happen.
You got to accept it. Go ahead, accept it. You cry about it. Have that time. And then you got to be like, fuck it. I got to fight this. I got to figure out another way.
Exactly.
It happens to everybody. Shit, yeah. I don't like to get rejected, especially from job openings or offerings or anything. But you gotta accept it. I remember being real low. Yeah.
Yep. And you gotta be able to bounce back. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You gotta find a different lane. Like they always tell you, whatever somebody, if one door closes, shit, they was like, always check the back door or windows open. Something.
Yeah.
I'm saying you gotta keep on going. You can't just be like, oh, this is shut in my face, whatever. Oh, woe is me. I can't do nothing.
Oh, woe is me. Yeah. But I always feel like the guy didn't want that to something he wanted me to do. Something else is about to come because he had to get rid of that. So even though I might have wanted it, something else about to come along. So just roll with it.
Yeah. Gotta be hopeful.
And I want to say this before we get done. So like, and she kind of made a good point. I know people don't like to hear this, but she made a good point in there. Like, people always say like, you know, this is what's meant to happen because she was talking about like her dad dying.
Her dad. I
like,
felt her on that because, you know, my father passed and some people got to, you know, some people, I did get to the point where I said, like, why are certain people living and I know are wrong? I'd be like, you doing bad shit.
Accepting change is accepting that something terrible may happen after this. Like, let's say you lose your job and you like, you know, because a lot of people be like, you know, oh, well, you know, it's because something better comes. And then like, what if you get a worse job than that? Can you adapt to that too? Like, can you be okay with not having a better job? Like, I mean, can you be content with, damn, I gotta work retail because this job ain't come through for me, so I just need to do what I gotta do for right now so I can pay my bills. Can you be okay with that too? Because I think everybody thinks, oh, well, you know, this didn't happen because God got me, or my this person died, but it was just to teach me a lesson. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just happened. Are you able to accept that shit happens and you got to move on from it regardless, whether it be good or bad? Shit happens.
I can accept it, but I'm probably gonna complain the whole damn way through.
Exactly. And that's fine, but are you able to move forward? And I mean, even if you're complaining, are you able to move forward and live your life and be content? Because you should get past the point of complaining. You should. I mean, like you said it already. If somebody died, you got to be like, okay, I cry about it, I accept it, and I move on. Like,
yeah. But I've caught myself questioning things a lot. Yeah. Like what she said, yeah. Because you hear like, oh God, and I heard it yesterday, like, oh girl, somebody almost hit me. God saved you. But what happened to that person that did get in the car accident? And when she said that, I was thinking like, did God want them to die? Like, oh my God, that is true. How we say like, well, you know what? You right. Because when some people be like, God blessing me, and you be thinking to yourself, well, he not blessing me. As my phone ring, he not blessing me. Like,
you got an office phone in your house?
I got a house phone. I'm old school.
Everybody, somebody's house phone go out, everybody like, you got a house phone in 2020?
I want a house phone.
It's $9.99. I ain't got no call waiting, no call ID. So it's a bill collector, probably.
I tried to get a house phone, but they don't do no landlines. Like, they don't, like, your phone still go through the Wi-Fi. So I'm like, I don't need no landline if I still got to go through the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I got a landline in case my life. Yeah, I still got a landline.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I wanted one in case like lights go out and stuff like that. I could still have a way out. But they told me that I had to go through my Wi-Fi router, and I was like, well, that don't make sense. I want to go through the phone lines.
We still go through the phone line with AT&T. I still go through the phone line.
Maybe I need to ask them again.
Yeah, like I say, with most cable companies, where they go through the your cable service, because like with my Xfinity, I have a line. And like I said,
Xfinity do, but I got cable with Xfinity. I stay with AT&T with my phone. I'm not switching it. But
I'm gonna ask them. I do want to learn about it.
It's only $9. I can only make certain amount of calls though, like 13 a month. So I don't use it, but just in case.
I was thinking go from 2 minutes to less than a minute.
I still say 2 minutes.
Oh,
I don't know.
We can wrap it up though, because I think we had a good conversation.
Yes, it was. It was nice seeing y'all. Where y'all decorations at?
I'm in my room. Ain't shit in my room. I got decorations in the living room.
My decorations in my head.
Exactly. Merry Christmas.
Jingle jangle up here.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays, nigga.
On that note, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, we hope you laughed a little, learned a lot. We hope we have helped you find the remedy whatever's troubling you. This is What's the Remedy podcast. So again, Happy New Year's to everybody. Merry Christmas. And we'll see what 2021 has.
2021. Yeah.
In the lane, slow
All
is
right, y'all. I'm out.
All right, let me get it hands up off of you.
beautiful side. We're happy.